Everybody, welcome to Stand Together day number 8. If you are joining us live, jump on, give me a good morning, give me a hi. If you're joining for replay, hashtag replay, good to see you guys joining in for this. Welcome to another one, number 8, right? We've been doing this for a full week now, Friday to Friday, and we've been hanging out right here live on Instagram. Jump on. Say hi. If you're watching this on one of the replays, make sure you get involved too. Listen, I've been loving hanging out with you guys so far, so jump on, give me a good morning. Who's on today so far? Who's we got? Hey Mel, good to see you. Sarah, Jen, good to see you. Who else we got? Alicia, Jasmine, Suze, Naomi, Moo. What else we got? Cave Girl Originals. I'm sure that's not your name, but that's your handle. Hey, Kez, Sarah. How we doing? Melissa, Jalita. Good morning. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Mia. Good morning, everybody. Jump on, say good morning. Mary Chris. Hey. Good to see you, Chris. Another Chris. Good to see you. Good morning, Cassie. Good morning, everybody. Jump on, say hi. Hey, welcome to another Stand Together we've got here hanging out today. Welcome to this number day 8. And I've got a pretty direct lesson for you today. And then, as you know, we're going to give you some Q&A. So the point of this, right, is there should be something you can take away and you should be able to action. Instead of giving you 50 things a day, right now, whether you're in lockdown, whether you're not, whether you are in survival mode, whether you're in thrive mode, whatever it may be right now for you, this is about taking something from the day, taking some level of understanding and action and going and applying this. And also just hanging out with a bunch of people that are watching this live, and then the thousands of people that are watching this right around the world over the following 1 or 2 days once we post it. That's what this is about. It's about joining us and being a part of this, either live or joining in what everybody else is doing right now to be a part of this. So listen, Stand Together is about all of us getting together and saying, you know what, we can find our way through this. We can work on journey, and it still is a critical part to my journey, but today now it's more about gatekeeping than anything, and this will make sense at the end. Like I'm more of a gatekeeper now, and I'll tell you what I mean by that later on after I've explained to you the lesson today. So one of the critical things that I think is really important right now, and in life and in business in general and building your empire, one of the things that's really critically important, and especially right now with everything that's going on, with the way that the world is, with the challenges around the COVID and the vaccine and shutdowns and lockdowns and everything else that's happening. Here's part of what we need to start doing in our world right now is we need to start thinking about the people that we have in our world and really looking at them almost like a roster of a sports team. And that's what I mean by that. What would happen if you listed down on a piece of paper everybody in your top, let's say, 50 influencers that are around you? I'm talking about the people that you listen to all the time, you speak to all the time, you're indoctrinated in their world, like you're a part of who they are and what they do, friends, family, colleagues. What would happen if you made this list, right, of all those people that were around you? And then after you made that list, you asked yourself a question. You said, okay, listen, part of life I understand is that I go through life and I kind of collect people along the way. I meet someone over here or they were friends with me when they were in school and we're still kind of friends, or I met them at uni, or, they worked for me once, or, I met them at this event, or there's like, how many people in your life have you just kind of accumulated in your world? I mean, think about it. How many thousands of people do most of us probably have in our phone or on our social media? So many people that we can connect with. I mean, you've got to have people in your phone that you've got saved numbers for. You're like, I have no idea who this person is, right? So for the majority of us, we collect these kind of people as we go. But the part of the challenge, I think, for us is we need to stop at times and say to ourselves, of all these people that I have around me, right? Of all these people that I have surrounding me in my life, whether it be professionally, whether it be they work for me in my business, whether it be friends, or whether it be, family as well, everything. If you wrote this whole list down, I wonder if you looked at that list, whether you'd say, this is the kind of people that I want to be around. Not everyone, but some of them. Would you say that all of the people in your life are serving you in some way? And serving you, what that means is that they're giving something to you in some way. They're empowering you. They're motivating you. They're encouraging you. They're doing something, or you feel better when you're around those people. I wonder if you wrote your list of your friends and people you spend time with as well. Even if you're not friends, if you just happen to, feel that, feel like you have to hang out with that person, and you've done it for years, and you're like, hang on a second, I don't really walk away from that conversation feeling a level of empowerment or excitement. You kind of say to yourself, well, why do I do it, right? Why is it, that's not really serving me? I wonder if you wrote that list of 50 people and you simply did a tick or a cross next to every one of those names. And the tick would mean that they're serving you, and the tick would mean that you want them in your life, and the tick would mean that they would be on your roster. They would be on your team of life, right? And the cross would mean maybe it's time to move on, and maybe those people aren't serving you in your world. You see, what I'm really talking about is it now time to take a stop and look at your life and look at the people that are in it? And is it now time to purge? Is it now time to stop and say, who are the people that are in my life that just fucking shouldn't be there? They don't add value to you. They don't support you. They're assholes. They're bitches. They're whatever. They just shouldn't be in your life. Or who are the people that you just don't really get anything from? And it doesn't mean everything needs to be you get something. I mean, there's people in everyone's life that they've got to be there to support through challenging times. Of course, that's what friendship's all about. But they're people you're just like, for fuck's sake, why do I have these people around me? Why do I have this person? Even if I am related to them, do I need to go see that cousin? If they just fucking annoy me and they are not on my same wavelength and all they do is bring me out, do I need to still see that friend that every time I see, I have a coffee with them and all they do is fucking complain? Right now, there's people out there that are doing it real tough, but you know what they do? They're doing it tough. They're not complaining. They're trying to find ways to be able to get through it. Even in the challenging times, there are people that can start to step up and say, okay, let me find a way through it. Why do I say this now? Because now with what's happening in the world, you are getting everybody coming out of the woodworks and they're acting in very different ways. Some people are coming out saying it's really challenging, but we can do this, we can get through it. Others are coming out and spending the last year blaming the government or blaming somebody else or blaming a friend and spending their whole time not actually being proactive about their life. And you might need to say, is that the person I want to be around right now? Is that the person I want to spend my time with right now? Want to learn something? You're a fucking grown-up. You're allowed to choose who you hang out with. There's no direct time that you have to spend with somebody, right? There's no book that says because you've been friends for 5 years, you've got to be friends for another 5 more. There's no book that says that just because you're blood related to that person, you have to see them all the time. You have to go over and see them all the time. Listen, I'm not saying you cut out every single person in your life. There are some people you're probably going to need to make a little bit more exceptions for. Ergo, people that you are in your immediate family that you might have to go, okay, my sister, she can be a bit challenging, but you know what? I'll limit seeing her. I'll see her just Christmas and New Year's or whatever, and that's fine, right? That might be the thing you need to do. Maybe that's what you need to do. You might have that. Or if you've got a partner, I'm not saying go and, run away from your partners and divorce and break up, but you might need to say, look, now's the time we need to sit and have a conversation, or we need to get some help right now because it's not serving us. Whatever it may be, if you just made that roster, you just literally wrote down names and you just said, tick, cross, right? Who's on my roster? Because here's the thing. Once you do this, here's the power of it. That's only step one. That's only 50% of what you need to do. A lot of people spend their time, and some people will go through this, and some of you might have even done this. You might have even gone through this and said, okay, I'm going to do this in my life. But then once you do that, once you take away those ingredients of those that weren't really serving those people, Or you limit it. You get rid of it, you fucking dig it out, you rip out the weed, or you limit it. You're like, okay, I'll see you at birth, deaths, and marriages. Okay, I'll see you at birth, deaths, and marriages. That's when I'll see you. Okay, please don't fucking call me for my birthday. I'll see you at birth, deaths, and marriages. You've got those people, those people, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. But you've also got to look at the second part of this equation is who do you need to add? Who do you need to bring in to your life right now? Who do you need to say, I need that on my roster? Like if I was a sports team and I'm trying to win a fucking championship, right? I've got to have different positions on parts of the field, on the court, whatever the sport may be. I've got to have different people. Take the sport you love. I've got to have different people in different positions. Who's on the court with me right now? Who's my defense? Who's my offense? Who's my people I can rely on every single time? Who's my trainer? Who's my coach? Who's my mentor? Who's the person that's my executor? I say, hey, here's the play, go, and they get it done. Who are the people that you've got around you? And have you added the right ingredients in? Have you added the right people back into your life? Everyone needs somebody that would die for them, that will go into battle for them. Everyone needs people that go and help to go out and execute things. Everyone needs a friend or friends that would stay up until midnight to do things for them. I remember back in my time, my gosh, I got some friends of mine that I would rope into so many things over a decade or more than that, 15 years ago, to do things for me when I was kind of trying to start. And I will never, ever, ever forget those people that stayed up until midnight doing shit for me, or overnight trying to help me with stuff for business and life. And they're the people that will be in my life forever, because they're the people that were there. They're the people that I fill my life with. What about other people you need to fill your life with? If you kind of feel like directionless on where you're going, well, do you have a coach? What does a coach do? They help you execute the orders and show you what to get done and be there, right? Do you have a mentor? Does a mentor is someone that shows you what to do and strategizes and says, fucking do this, and trust the fucking process and do that? Do you have that? Do you have someone that's done it before? Right? There's only two types of mentors. One that's actually doing it in your field, or one that's shown others how to do it in your field. I mean, you can learn how to become an Olympic swimmer by a coach that's a coach of the Olympic team that's never swum in their life. That's okay. Or you can learn it from somebody who's just won a gold, right? You've got to have the right people in your world, but you've got to be prepared before you do that. You've got to be prepared to purge. You've got to be prepared to say, who are the people in my life? There's some people that might even work in your business, and you're like, you know what? They're just a fucking head case. Every day there's a drama. Every fucking day there's something else that we have to deal with. And maybe those people, I don't care what value they bring, maybe they value versus what they take away, they're in negative. Maybe there's people in your life, a friend or a family member or somebody you have around you that they're just not making your life better. And you feel somehow obligated to speak to that person because you've always done that. But you got to realize that real obligation is to the things that you need to do to serve greater. And you can't serve a greater good than yourself if you don't feel surrounded by your fucking A-team, the people that are around you, to have your back, to show you what needs to get done. So my question today is this: do you need to purge? It might be one person. And as I'm speaking to you going, yep, I know who it is. It might be 10 people. You're like, fuck, yep, I could write a list of 10. Or it could be the fact you've done that, but you haven't built your team. You see, here's how a championship works. A championship works in the sporting arena when they build a championship fucking team first. Then they go game upon game upon game upon game upon game, wins and losses and wins and losses and injuries and losses and wins. And eventually they get to play for the championship. They get to play for the championship. That is how you win a championship. It's not on finals day. Build the fucking team first, right? Get the strategies right. Get the training right? Get all of that right. Get the team ready. Then start playing the game with the team. And some days you'll have great days. Some of us have, oh my gosh, high five myself days. Other days you have, holy shit, why did I get out of bed days? All of us have that. And especially in a pandemic when things are challenging. So you have that friend or those friends that are pulling you up. Do you have those people that are in your corner? Do you have the right strategy around you? Do you have your fucking team? Or are you trying to win a championship without the people around you? And I tried to win a championship myself when I first started, and I fell flat on my face. In fact, I nearly lost all of my money, almost bankrupt twice, thinking I knew everything. Ego, thinking I knew everything. And that was a real big challenge for me. And I had to learn it the hard way. And this is why I want to help you to try and not learn it the hard way, but learn it the easier way. Learn it the way that's going to serve you. Learn it the way that's going to be able to help you to become who you want to be. So you got to purge. You've got to be bold and brave enough to get rid of those people in your life that are not serving you, number one. And number two, after you've done that, you need to go and fill up your roster, because you need to have a whole team of people that are there. People that pick you up and bandage you back together and get you back out there, right? Who's the doctor on the team? Do you have that friend that puts you together? Who's the coach? Who's the mentor? Who's the fucking ball boy? Who's the water person? Who's a person that's going to mop up after the mess? Who's the teammate? Purge. Then fill up all those spots with people that you really need to have in your world, and stop wasting your fucking life on people that don't deserve you. Does that make sense? I'm talking to you. Stop it. It's your life. I need to start acting like it. Purge. Then go find some free agencies. Sports term. Sign them up. Sign them up. Get them on. Whatever it may be. Whoever. Bring them in. Get them on. Do whatever it fucking takes. Whatever it takes. Because you know what? When you feel better, you do better. When you do better, you get better. And when you get better, you'll fucking win. So whatever it takes now to do the things you need to do. Maybe you've purged, but you haven't really gone and built your roster. Maybe you've started to build your roster, but you haven't actually purged. Maybe you just need to do both. Just like, Aaron, you're fucking right. And why do I tell you this now? Because this is the kind of time where you've got people that are either stepping up and reaching out to you and saying, hey, you're all right. How's it all going? And let's do this thing. And fuck, we got this. And you've got others that are just what? Silent? Not doing shit? Right? What about those people that haven't reached out at all to see how you're going? Majority of you are business owners. What about all those people that haven't reached out to you at all and said, are you okay? Are things okay? Right? Who are the people that should be around you? Who are the people that you need to bring into your life? And maybe this is a time. And if you're in lockdown right now, God, maybe you take half a day on yourself just to do this, or more. God, you spend half a day doing bullshit, rearranging your desk and Googling crap that won't fucking serve you. Maybe you can spend half the day on yourself. Purge and build your roster. You won't win a championship without the right players, the right coaches, the right mentors, the right team. Period. Purge. Then build. That's what I want to let you know about today. So, your turn. What questions have you got? Questions in for me. Can be about anything. Could be about today's topic. Could be about life, love, and the universe. Could be about the extension we've had in lockdowns, ACT, going into lockdown, Brisbane coming out, maybe Brisbane going back in. right? All the fun stuff. My little man. He's so cute. 4 is so cute. 7's cute, but 7's a bit devilish. But 4's cute. What questions you got? All right, let's do this. Questions away, my friends. Let's do this. All right, I'm going to scroll to see some of the questions. It is easier if you pop the questions in below. Go, go, go. What questions you got? Any questions you might have, throw those in. All right, where do you start looking for financial investors or grants? So there are lots of grants and programs available. In fact, I've spent a good day and a half personally researching this week for some of my Empire Circle students today, and I'll tell you that there's a hell of a lot. Top of my head, there is something close to, remember the number, it's probably close to 80, 90 grants, programs available right now across Australia in different states, and federally as well. So do the research. There are lots of grants available. In terms of investors, it depends on how much money you're looking for. Funnily enough, it's easier to raise capital above $5 and $10 million generally than what it is to raise about $1 million. Because when you look at 5 and 10, 50 and $100 million, you're actually looking at institutional investors. You're looking at big funds. So it can be easier. It can be easier to raise that kind of money. If it's smaller, you're looking for, I first would say start to look at friends and family to begin with. Friends, family, acquaintances. That's probably a great way to do it. Create a pitch deck. If you don't know how to do it, DM me and just say, hey, help me out with the pitch deck and I can point you in the right direction. But yeah, that's how I'll do it. Mandy, partnerships. Do you need a contract? Do you need to contract lawyer, or is it standard for your customers? Yeah, look, it depends on what sort of partnership you're doing. You could get a contract, definitely get a lawyer to do a contract for you specifically in your industry and your business. Then you can tweak that contract. Look, you're not supposed to tweak the contract. You've got to get them to do it every time, but you can if it's just tweaking names and things like that. I mean, you could potentially look at doing that. But again, you've got to seek legal advice for that because I can't give it to you. But I would always get a contract for a partnership of any sort. I think it's important to get a piece of paperwork between friends. Critically important. In our hair industry, just hard to get the mental strategies to purge. That's not hard. You just have to fucking do it. You just have to allow yourself to do it. The biggest reason why people don't purge is they're worried about the consequences. I wonder if you said, fuck the consequences. I can't swear too much now because my kids are downstairs. What if you just said, fuck the consequences? You would do it. Simple. Isn't it? My colleague asked the question, how do you start and get yourself to where you are today? All right, your colleague, or is it you? Your colleague. So it's a very open question. What I did is I believed in myself, gave myself permission, learnt what I needed to do, found a mentor, and took MAIA every day and still kept going. That is the shortest version of how I got to where I am today. How would you focus on positive things when lots of bad, negative stuff's happening? That's a great question, Amy. So for me, one of the things that I do is I'm big on reframing my brain. So let's say something's a bit of a challenge and I go, oh, well, there you go. I just did it right then without even thinking. So let me tell you what I just did. I learned a long time ago that there's nothing's a problem and everything's a challenge. So whenever I see something's a problem, I say to my head and out loud, I say, okay, this is a challenge. Because if I hear the word challenge, I go, okay. Let's say I've got a business and I've got 4 major customers and 1 major customer cancels. That means I've lost 25%, let's say, of my business, hypothetically. I would go, okay, is that a problem? No, it's not a problem. That's a challenge. So what's the challenge? My brain just said, okay, the challenge is I need to go either try and save that person or I need to go out there and find another person to take its place. Challenge. Problem is, fuck, bills, what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, right? Challenge is, how am I going to solve this challenge? So firstly, I work on my mindset. I reframe my mindset, Naomi, is one of the first things I do. Second thing is I stay away from all the negative shit. Listen, Some things happen to people in life and they find a way for that thing to be something that makes them greater, better, stronger, more powerful. You know, look at my friend Turia Pitt. I have so much love and admiration for her, and to have her as a friend now for a few years, and to have partnered with her. This is a woman that had burned 70-80% of her body, that went through. And you've not looked up Turia Pitt, by the way. Look her up, Turia Pitt, Turia Pitt, and she's out there inspiring so many people, and others that have gone through the same kind of thing as her have laid down and said, I can't do life anymore. I can't do it. So I think that working out that within challenge, there's always power to find the triumph, to go out there and find a better version of you. Look for those people that are doing it even more challenging and tougher than you, and they're still surviving. Like Turia, who is an inspiration, and she's turned her challenge into a huge legacy in her life. That's part of what I'll do as well. And don't forget gratitude. Gratitude is an important thing. What are you grateful for today? What are you looking forward to today? Why is today going to be great? What's the 3 best things about being alive today? What are the 4 greatest things you can find that are going to come out of this problem that you're facing right now that's going to make you better? They're great questions. Ask yourself better questions. Financial advisors' thoughts, how they are important. Yeah, look, they're really important, Pina. What I like to do is I like to have an advisor, but it's really challenging with advisors in Australia because they're literally designed to put you into certain portfolios. And I know that they've had commissions and stuff into this, but if you're speaking to somebody who has a massive vested interest in you investing your money into said thing, then that can be the challenge. So that's my challenge with financial advisors. So look, where I get my major financial advice. So let me be clear about this. Structure advice and what I should do with money and structuring, I get that from my tax lawyers. But financial advice, do you want to know where I get majority of my financial advice from? My wealthy friends and my financial mentors. They're the ones I go to. If I go to a mate that's worth $100 million and I go, hey, what you doing? He goes, investing. I go, in what? Don't say fucking crypto. He goes, yeah, some crypto. How much? Maybe $1 million. He can afford that. That's 1% of how much he has. Okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, what about that? He might say, okay, I'm also doing these things called NFTs. I'm like, what the fuck are NFTs? I better go learn about that now, which I am. He might say, a friend of mine, she's a massive real estate investor. And she's been divesting from this and looking at stock options of that and moving from buildings to land. And I'm like, okay, why are you doing that? Let me understand why you're doing that, right? She's worth, like 150 million. About 150 million. Yeah, she's grown. I learned from these people. They're the people. Hang around with people that have money and you'll learn to have money. That's kind of, hang out in the barbershop long enough and you'll get a haircut, right? First book, I self-published my first 2 because I can control the data, and I made all of the money. And so far, I've sold 40,000 books. 5,000 my first book. It was really shit. Don't buy it. And my second book, which is 35,000 copies, 2 times bestseller, called Think Like. You can buy it at all major bookstores and online. And I've made 100% of every one of those sales, and I own all the data. My next range of books coming out are being published with a publishing house. Once I finish them, publishing house, I apologize in advance if you're watching. I'm still fucking going. 15 years of grinding. Exactly. Probably do 1 or 2 more questions, guys. Did you ever have a time people suck the spark from you and walked away feeling worse? Yeah, absolutely. All the fucking time I had that. And you still do. I go into meetings with partnerships sometimes that I'm thinking about working with, and I'm like, wow, I just want to leave this meeting, and I walk away. Team members, anyone. I'm big on this. Even, this is going to be really fun to say, and people, I've got right now hanging out with a bunch of you guys as students. I do something that no one else in this industry of education does. I actually interview people that I'm thinking about potentially working with, whether they be coaching, whether they be masterminds. I actually interview them to get the right. People think it's fucking crazy. Why wouldn't you just take money if people are going to give it to you? But for me, having the right people around me in every way, students, clients, team members, staff, family, all of that is a critically important part to me in my life, because all of those people are in my bubble. All the people I spend my time with are in my bubble, right? So I interview people. All right, what else you got? Follow my Instagram, very interesting, good. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of Instagram right now, a hell of a lot. Keep going. Thank you so much for the amazing feedback, all y'all. Hey, listen, I hope you had a great day today, and you've been kicking some butt. So again, listen, if you're getting a lot from this, go ahead and share it. Go ahead and hit that share button, and let others know that they should be here. Once I put this on Instagram, share this on your story, call a friend. Gosh, call a friend, text and say, hey, come and follow this dude every morning. If you fucking hate him, guess what? You're just going to watch him for 2 minutes and then turn off. If you like him, well, then maybe get something from it. Or anyone else. I don't really care, but just get people to start getting in the good stuff right now, because they all need it. Does that make sense? Getting in the good stuff. All right, much love. Go kick some butt. Have an amazing day. Go and purge, and then go look to start rebuilding that roster of yours. Have an amazing day, everybody. Look after yourself. Happy Fridays, and let's go make this the best day. Because if you're going to have a life, you've got to live a life by design, not by default. Much love. I'll see you in the morning. Bye.